the shirt, baby. Pay us what you owe us, period.
Ma'am, do you know y'all losing millions every season?
Next question.
Mercy on my soul sounded pretty like this. And fuck Percy, he ain't never been out there like this. But see me, how do you like good, swallow the fire, preload.
How much is the shirts, the comments you all made here, seeking the fan support, right? A rally behind you for the rest of the league. Those shirts are on sale. I expect we'll see them in your arenas when you guys come back from this. How much is making clear your priorities and having that fan support part of the plan here?
You know, it's extremely important, and I appreciate you asking that because, you know, it applies pressure. And even those chants tonight, the signs, I think it just shows that, you know, obviously as players we're united, but the fans are united in what they believe that we're seeking. And that's extremely important because that pressure can put, you know, a lot of good things on the table for us. You know, and I think, like I said earlier, like I'm just going to continue to harp on it, that awareness piece. So maybe someone that tuned in today that hasn't seen a WNBA game before or not super familiar with the climate of what's going on and where salaries are at. I know a lot of times, you know, we're gaining a ton of new fans and it's really important to educate them on what we're asking for, why we're asking for it, where it's at now, where it could be. And so I think it's really important that, you know, the fans showed up tonight for us in many ways, and it's exciting because I know that's going to continue to happen throughout the season.
So, the WNBA. The WNBA is asking people to pay them what they owe them. You get what I'm saying? That's so funny. That is so funny. People have things to say about that. They got things to say about that. A lot of people. We gotta listen to both sides of the argument. You get what I'm saying? And we gotta come to an agreement. That's what we gotta do. You get me? I ain't gonna say nothing, bro. I ain't gonna say nothing. You get me? Like, this shit is so trivial to me. Like, this is a woman's world. This is a woman's world. You get me? All the women would say anything of this nature.
You know, we're gaining a ton of new fans and it's really important to educate them.
I was really glad to see the women wear the pay us what you owe us, because one thing that the W is always going to do, and the players in the W, is stand on business. If you've only been watching for a couple years, just Google WNBA and like social justice and things like that, because they just have always been at the forefront, the women have, of the W. Anyways, I'll just use one example because I know if you have just no knowledge of the pay, a lot of people just compare it to the MNBA and they're just like, well, they don't make as much because they don't bring in as much. And they're not asking to be paid the same as the men. So there's that. They're asking to be paid their fair share like the men. So the men get 50% of revenue sharing, which is just the total amount of what the MNBA brings in. Well, the women, for that same statistic, bring in 9%. So whatever that number is, right? If we make $100 at the lemonade stand and I give my kid, $50 because he's a boy, and I give my daughter $9 because she's a girl, then the girl's like, well, what? I think that, okay, maybe in the girls' lemonade stand, we only made $50, but still give me 50% of whatever we made. You give the boys 50%, give me 50%. That's what they're saying when it comes to that one stat. So let's just start there and think about that part. And I was also just extremely impressed that all of the women participated in wearing the shirts, even the women who truly don't need the money per se from the W and just do it for the love of the game. And then you have some people who play in the W. Yes, they all love the game, but this is truly their primary income and they need it to be a legitimate living wage. So I was very impressed by that as well.
What does that mean, pay us what you owe us? Okay, unless you're Caitlin Clark, you shouldn't ever be able to put on a shirt that says pay us what you owe us. I'll explain it to you ladies, and it's nothing against girls. People think I'm misogynistic and shit like that. I love women. I have sisters, I have a mother. I love women, but guys, let's be real here, okay? Your league makes no fucking revenue at all. It's probably a write-off for the NBA. I'm just being real here. I'm being real here. I'll tell you guys how it is. I don't really give a fuck.
Bro, I'm telling you, when we made the agreement of what honor is and what dignity is and what having respect for yourself is. Women was not a part of that. They wasn't a part of that at all. Women like this.
What do you mean by what you owe us?
The players of what is building this brand and this league. There is no league without the players, and the past, present, the ones coming out, they're the ones that have put in the blood, sweat, and tears for the new money that's coming in, and so we feel like we are owed a piece of that pie that we helped to create. So that's basically what that is.
Was not a part of that. Evil people are not a part of no agreement. You get me? They see no alliance. They see no alliance with anything that they do. You get me? It is foreign to them. Evil people, period. You get what I'm saying? Here we are trying to teach people that, this and this goes together, and they...
Yo, this is a huge statement. As we know, the W players have been in CBA negotiations all weekend. In the first meeting, I think 40 of them attended, which was a huge high. But long story short, they're getting absolutely fleeced, and the offers that are being given to them are pretty much offensive. So with that, the players just took to the floor in the All-Star game and took off their warm-up shirts to reveal these, saying, "Pay us what you owe us." We obviously knew that the players aren't backing down, but this is truly standing on business, especially on such a stage as the All-Star game. And the statement is so loud and clear.
A few moments later.
The women of the WNBA have officially lost their fucking mind. Like, this is a league full of sheer delusion and no self-awareness. No wonder those stands look how they look, empty. So apparently these clowns went out to their game last night with shirts saying that pay us what you owe us. Imagine. And this was the realest tweet ever. It said, imagine being an employee at a company that has never turned a profit and showing up to work in those shirts. Like, if they pay y'all what they actually owe y'all, you motherfuckers are going to cry. Cause a lot of y'all gonna be making $7.25 per hour. And I don't often agree with the sentiment, but this is a rare case where shut up and dribble actually fits. Professional sports isn't about how talented you are. You don't get paid in professional sports based off the skill level in which you have. You get paid in professional sports simply based off of the revenue in which you generate. And that's the bottom line. And the WNBA does not make any profit. They're in the red. They're in the negative. If anything, the NBA players need a raise for carrying this bullshit. And for those with no common sense who don't understand common logic, let me explain to you why the WNBA isn't popular. Women's sports like track and field, like women's soccer, like women's beach volleyball, these are all popular sports worldwide. Why? Because it's feminine women with a visual sex appeal. Take it however you want. The majority of sports fans in the world are men. Men don't want to see over masculine women dressing like men, acting like men, but don't acquire the same skill level nowhere near men. No one wants to see that shit. It's not entertaining. 7-foot bitches who can't even dunk, can't dribble, barely making layups. No one wants to see that shit. So be careful what you ask for, because if they pay you what you actually are owed, you're going to be complaining about slavery and this, and that.